Hello everyone, welcome back to the property this time. Last time we were out here, that was the Brick Saga, at least on the channel, and quite a bit has changed. So this here is where bricks are, and where I was building my little pad out of bricks. Things have evolved out here quickly, so I'm still using the bricks for doing what I wanted to do, but I got these concrete slabs in a deal that I'll talk about in a second. It has to do with the tires. So these are set down out here. I used the little Massey Ferguson MF25 with a homemade back blade to do all the dirt work. And it's not perfect. It slopes downwards and there's a dip, but it's subtle enough that I personally don't care. I might take some either concrete or mortar or something to fill in a lot of these joints, and it looks really flat from afar, and some of these are really flat, but these joints here, that how do I even visualize that? There's a big gap in between some of these joints, but that's not really a problem. I love these things. They're gonna make life a lot nicer out here. This here is going to be where my bridge crane is going to be set up sometime in the future. I'll have posts along here, and actually these are 16 foot wide and the bridge crane is 18 foot wide, so the posts for the other side will be a little bit further over along here. That bridge crane is all the way over here. Luckily it just rained, so it's not all dusty. And this dirt compacts immediately as soon as it gets wet. So over here is the new bed for the Astro that's going to replace the one that's on it. Oh, someone's coming out. So even all the way out here in the middle of nowhere, there's still people driving by. Here's the bed for the Astro, the new one. This one is 18 feet long, which will give me 2 feet in the front for activities. It needs some work, but the thing I was going to talk to you guys about is this bridge crane. So I need to take the tractor and drag it out so that it doesn't have this twist in it, but this is 18 feet wide. It's I believe without this big strengthening rib on it, it was a 1 ton. This big rib here was added after the fact. I believe it was a 1 ton. I'll keep it probably about 1 ton. I might see how it does and do some math to see if I could use it as a 2 ton, but I'm not really counting on it. These here are the 2 rails. There's actually 4 rails, sorry. These two, those are the long ones and these are the short ones. I had to cut these. They've got brackets on them. The original users had them where this was originally installed. They used 4x4 posts. I'm going to use steel posts. I have 4 steel posts for it. These 3 and then 1 over there that got dragged with the vertical boring mill's rail whenever I had to move it. I'll have to modify these to fit it, but these will be nice. Well, speaking of the vertical boring mill, for a bunch of reasons. One of the big ones was the main bearings on that machine were garbage. They were supposed to be, I was told that those main bearings were plain bearings from people that had taken the truck off. I did some research and they're supposed to be roller bearings. I know that the previous company did a bunch of work to it, and while I like the previous company, I think that they are good people. I do not trust their repairs on machine tools. I thought they did it properly, but after hearing that they put plain bearings in it, it was too much of a project. It had sat on my friend's trailer for too long. I needed a bunch of money, so I had to scrap the vertical. I don't think I was ever going to get it running again after doing all that research on the bearings. I knew I theoretically could have, but the amount of money I would have invested into it, I've seen so many of them for sale around here. It's not funny. For cheap too, so I can get a better one for cheaper. So I did rip off anything useful. The motor came off, the electrical cabinet came off, all of the conduit, everything that was mildly useful on it came off and was either sold or I still have. If any of you are interested in these special motors for it, because they have a weird flange pattern and they're special motors, let me know. I'll sell them to you for really cheap. Or anything else in this pile for that matter. I thought I was going to get at least $1,000 for 25,000 pounds of scrap, but I only got 444. So this rail and the other chunk of it, which is over there, those are going to be staying out here for a little bit until prices come back up. And even whenever I scrap it scrap the final pieces, I'll still pull anything useful off of it, like these motors and other fun things, oilers and conduit and such. Now, as far as these tires go, that's the other fun thing about the property. A widow had these tires on her industrial or commercial property. Her late husband, owned an equipment repair business, and they used equipment and such. So he had all these tires stacked up, and she said, if you can get rid of all these tires, if you can come in and move them out, then I'll give you a tractor. Well, I told a friend of mine, hey, if you can put this deal together, and if you can, get the ball rolling on it and do all the legwork, we can put all these tires out at my property, and I can use them like I'm using them over here for my driveway, for basically curbs. And he said, fantastic. And I'll admit, I was a bit starry-eyed because I thought, hey, a bunch of free tires. Some of them might be good. And I'm really, really glad this deal went through, don't get me wrong, but I thought it was going to be an easier deal than it was. Hey, look, a brand new rim. That happened whenever the Astro popped a tire towing the slabs out here and blew a tire. Luckily I had spares. I'm using them here for curbs on my driveway because I want a 100 foot by 100 foot driveway, a massive driveway here in the center of the property. Well, not really the center of the property, but at my end of the property that I'm using right now to allow big trucks, semis, and other things to turn around and get their bearing and not have to squeeze in and out. The idea is someone coming in from that direction has enough room to come into here, turn around and back up underneath a bridge crane, or get unloaded out here and then go out to another turnout out here and be at such an angle that he can go this way or this way depending on whatever he chooses. If I only had one turnout, or if it wasn't a big enough driveway, he'd be screwed and I'd be screwed and it would suck. So I'm going to make this whole area a giant driveway, gravel it and everything, And these tires, the big semi-truck tires, are going to line the outside of it as a curb that is free, and if somebody hits it, oh well. And I can plant stuff inside the middle of the tires. They will all be filled with dirt. They will not be a mosquito risk. They're all going to get filled with dirt. And it just, you know, I can weed eat and mow around them and do all kinds of stuff, and it's not going to hurt the tire. And if one of them ends up being bad for some reason, I want to replace it for any reason, I can do that. It's just a cheap, easy curb that's very low maintenance, as well as for the other tires that can't be used for that, like these and everything. So tires like this, I'm part of the American Trucking Historical Society. I'm a member, and I've got several friends who could use a tire like that with a big 6 rim. It is a tube tire, but some of these are actually pretty good, so they'll get used. I'm going to pick through it and try to find good ones, and I'll keep them inside. There's a lot of rims, so that there's a tube rim, that's a 10-hole. It does have some stuck bud lugs in it, but there's other, this is a Widowmaker, true split rim, at least a ring lock rim. Some of them will get used for other trucks. Rims will get sold. Some of these are Dayton's, some of these are of different styles. This is a split ring. That's a lock ring. Some of them are good. And as we get over here into the really big tires, so we've got some really big tractor and industrial tires. These ones are going to get used as planters. Ones like this one, I'll probably turn that into a pond for Trekker. This one here is definitely going to get put to use for something like that. Or if it's good, if I look around it and it's good, I'll try to sell it. So, sell it for really cheap to some farmer. This one here is probably, I'll pressure wash out the inside of her. I don't know. These tires were sitting in a pile for a reason. I'll try to sell what's good for really, really cheap. So, it was a fantastic deal. Some people might see a big headache, but I see opportunity. And to close out that little segment, we ended up with so much credit because the original plan was to find someone that would take all of these to the dump and bring the receipts from the dump back and use it as a credit against the tractor. We ended up with $5,000 worth of credit because this is 459 tires, or 55,060 pounds worth, because we weighed each load. We ended up with more credit than the tractor was worth. So we also got a 13-speed transmission out of the deal, and those concrete slabs. Those were sitting around, I believe they're lids for something. That's what I was told by a friend of mine. But they lock together. They have massive amounts of rebar in them, and they're very flexible. And I'm exceedingly glad to have them because they're going to be nice. And then the reefer trailer is what we use to transport most of them. That's sitting in its final spot. The reason I came out here today was to bring all these T-posts out. I had to empty out my truck bed because tomorrow I'm going to go buy a little 2-bottom plow so I can put a garden out here. It's extremely cheap, so I'm buying it way before I actually need it, but super cheap. Not only do I have the tires and the concrete slab, and not only has all of that been done, a customer's employee, who I consider a friend, gave me all this steel along with a truck bed full of other sections of steel. And there was more here, but I took some of it home for use in building implements and such. But he gave me that. He sold me all of this fencing at a 75 or 80% discount. I found a gate on Facebook Marketplace for free, so I grabbed a gate. I also have all the poles for it over there as well with concrete on them. So, and my customer, one of my big customers, gave me this drill table for it's a multi-headed gang drill. It was, at least. They scrapped the heads after I told them about my wishes to buy it and turn it into a welding table. I said it would make a fantastic welding table. They said, "You're right, we're going to make it into a welding table." So they did that and realized it wasn't for them, and they gave it to me. So I dumped it out here. Now I have to hook a chain to it and drag it over to the concrete at some point and do some more cleanup around here. But that's mostly what's been happening out here in the property. I'm told that I will get a generator, or at least have one step closer to, or be one step closer to getting a generator this weekend. So once I get a generator, I need to get a generator and finish up a couple more jobs, and then I can move out here and I can live out here full time, or be out here full time, and I can deal with that and deal with all this and start building up the homestead. So with all that being said, please like and subscribe if you want to see more of all this garbage I have lying around. This is pretty much going to be Andy's little homestead, but Bachelor in the Desert edition. So maybe closer to Sean Gatz, but without the let's say Vegas influence. So we'll see how this changes my YouTube channel. Hopefully it'll be for the better. So please like and subscribe if you want to see more, and have a good day. Also, Trekker's pretty excited to be out here. Aren't you, puppy? Trekker. It's a good puppy. Oh, big stretch. Construction. Get it there? Oh yeah. So good. The little Massey hath performed admirably on this day. Got a maybe 2 foot high pile of dirt She smokes a little, but man, she can move some dirt. I need to fix the hydraulics though. They're not very happy.